Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my channel today. This month, during the month of September, I am guest designing for Color Rush Studio. They've given me a discount code to pass along to you. You can use 10Melissa to save 10% on any of your website orders. Today I'm working with the You Rock main kit, and so let's get started on the layout. I'm going to do something fun today. I am adding some glossy gel. Now this is from Pink and Main, and I'm going to be doing some foiling. So I'm adding this glossy gel into the stencil. So the stencil I have here is a hexagon shaped stencil, and it's actually from the Stamps of Life. And so I'm just going to apply a thin coat of this glossy gel over my stencil. And then I'm going to apply some foil, and I want to make this really sparkly. So I want to make this mixed media background to add to the back of my layout here. So you'll see here I'm just using a scraper there to get any excess off because I really want a thin layer. And I repeated that process on the bottom. Now I'm using this Pink and Main foil. This is the green cheer foil. So I'm just going to cut a little piece, just enough to cover up where I put that glossy gel. So I have it in the upper left and then also in the bottom right. And then I'm going to place this in a cover sheet. And then I'm going to run this through my laminator. Now I also have the Mink foiling machine, but it's a smaller size and I don't have the 12 by 12 size. So this one, I believe the opening's 13 inches. So it's perfect for adding some foil to your scrapbook pages. I also like to use this laminator when I have a mixed media background that maybe I've applied paint or some kind of wet medium to, and it doesn't, it needs to like flatten out. So this laminator serves multi-purposes. And I will have anything I use linked down below in the description box in case you're interested. And I always appreciate when you shop my links, as that does help support me and my YouTube channel. So this is my favorite part, the big peel and reveal from the foil. So I'm going to go ahead and peel back the foil here. I'm just touching it to make sure it's cool. And here we go. Isn't that awesome? So you can see here where I got more of the gel than others. And, you know, this was a large opening for that, but I love the way that that looks. It really gives it that good mixed media vibe with shimmery shine. All right, the next thing I want to do here to this background is I want to apply a little paint. And so I'm bringing in some of my Shimmers paints. And the color I'm using here, this is a Creameez, and it's called Lettuce Get Together. I love the names on the Shimmers paints. They're always just so fun. So a Creameez is a satin color, and you just add a little bit of water to the little pot of paint there, and then it comes alive and you can spread it around. I'm also spraying just a little bit of water, and I forgot to mention that I am using a piece of the Vicki Boutin Mixed Media Foundation's cardstock to apply all these different mediums to. Now I'm taking my paintbrush and adding just a few splatters with this Lettuce Get Together. And I'm going to go all around here. I love making splatters on my page. I always joke around that you can never have enough splatters on a layout. Now I decided I wanted to add just a little bit more color, and so I'm adding a little bit of color here to this top portion. And then a little bit more down here. I'm going to blend this out and use my spray bottle to just make sure I don't have any harsh lines. So I like the way that all that is looking. So I'll continue just building my paint here. I'm also going in and adding some more defined drops instead of the splatters. These are just bigger drops with my paintbrush. So now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I like the green, but looking at the papers in the kit, there's a lot of yellow. And so I think I want to tie in the yellow color as well. So I'm going to set this aside to dry for a moment. And then I'm going to bring in another color. I'm going to bring in this yellow. Now this yellow that I'm using is a Vibes. A Vibes is a shimmery spray, and this is the color Mustard Seed. I use mustard seed a lot. It's one of my favorite yellows. Now I got a little bit carried away here, and I want to have like a white line at the bottom, so I'm just patting that up with my paper towel, and I'm going in and just spraying more of this mustard seed. And now I'm going to blend a little bit of that together and making sure I get yellow in all of the areas as well as with the green. So I really like the way that looks. Blotting up just a few more places where I got carried away. And then off camera, I also came in with my luster brush from scrapbook.com and added some black. Now, I originally wanted black splatters, but I got a little carried away with the black, but I'm going to cover most of this up so that you'll only be able to see the splatters. I'm bringing in a few of these gorgeous papers from the You Rock kit from this month. So I'm applying some tape adhesive, and I'm going to layer these together. I've got that fun, be you, be bold, you are worthy, you are perfect, that paper in the back, and then I've got this pink pattern paper on the top. Now you'll notice I did tear both the top and the bottom edges. And let me go ahead and bring in my pictures. So these are the two pictures I want to scrapbook today. This is my daughter Tatum with one of her good friends, that's Brady, and they are at the fair this summer, and they're just laughing and having a good time. And I love that my daughter is wearing those white cowboy boots. It's like she has her own style. And so I thought that this paper, you know, be bold, be you, like all that just kind of goes along with it, of her just being herself. And so I thought this was perfect. Now I'm bringing in some embellishments. I did find this tag that came in the kit, and I used some of the frazzles and ribbon. Frazzles and ribbon are one of my favorite things about the Color Rush Studio kits. So I know I'm going to add it somewhere on this layout. Now in my little stack and sort tray here, I did fussy cut all of these hexagons from the pattern paper, and I also fussy cut all those smiley faces. So I made embellishments from the paper that came in the kit. So I'm just going to kind of dry fit some of these pieces and kind of arrange them just to see if I like the way this is looking. And I apologize, it looks like my camera I wasn't completely on screen for this, but you can see most of the layout here. I'm trying to decide where I want that little tag that says I'm here for the good times. That's going to be my title. And I did go ahead and I liked the placement of those hexagons, so I went ahead and glued those down, and then I snipped off the excess. Now I want to bring in some of these smiley faces, and I know I want to have 3 points of interest. I'm also bringing in a few of these chipboard stars, and so I'll add some to the bottom right cluster, or I guess you can call it a cluster. It's where my smiley face is, and then up there to the upper left corner near that smiley face. Now I don't quite have my visual triangle yet, and I'm still working on that, but I think I want to bring in another yellow smiley face, and that will be my 3 points of interest. I think I like the tag better down here on the bottom right versus up there kind of just by itself hanging out. It doesn't really have anything anchoring it to the layout if I add it to the upper right hand side of the photo. So I think the bottom right hand side gives it a little anchoring spot. So I like that better. So I'm going to look through these pieces just to see if there's any more that I want to add. And off camera, I did decide that I wanted to add my 3rd point of interest, that smiley face, to the bottom left-hand side of the page. I also added a blue smiley face and a pink. And then I cut a couple tags using a tag die from my stash and added those to the upper right-hand corner of the layout. And then I took a Sharpie marker and just outlined a black line around them so that they would match the hexagons and the smiley faces with the black outline. I have this white acrylic star that I'm gluing down here. It came from the acrylic kit this month, but I thought the layout needed just one more star, so I went ahead and added that there. I'm getting happy with the way that this layout looks, but I need some journaling. So I'm bringing in these dies from scrapbook.com, and these are called the Slim Strip Dies, and it's my favorite way to add journaling to a layout. So it cuts them in long strips, and then you can take your scissors and then just make them any size that you need. And so I've kind of cut them down to fit in this area over to the right hand side of my title, and this is where my journaling is going to go. I'm using a bright pink Le Pen to do my journaling, and so I did that off camera. I'm also bringing in a couple of these little puffy shaker stars, and I'll add those up here above my journaling just to kind of fill in that awkward space up here. And I think these are a really neat addition to the page. It's definitely some unique ephemera, and so I really like that. Okay, the finishing touch are going to be some jewels, and so I'm picking out a few colors here. I have all of these from Pink and Maine. So the green that I've picked out there, that is Shamrock. The yellow is Sunshine. The blue is Glass Slipper, and then the pink is Poppin' Pink. So you can see here I did go ahead and add some sequins off camera to the upper left and then the bottom right hand side of the page. So here's a final look at my layout, and I love the way this turned out. If you've enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. Be sure to check out the Color Rush Studio website. All the links will be down below in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!